Hey Sycamores, welcome to Almost Live. I'm your host, Reagan Daugherty. Today we're talking to Miles Clapp and Luke Tesmer, the presidential and vice presidential candidates for SGA. Almost Live starts right now.
Five,
4,
3,
2,
1.
First of all, thank you guys so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Can you start off by telling me a little bit about yourselves?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us, Reagan. My name is Miles Clapp. I currently am a sophomore studying business management here at Indiana State University, also minoring in analytics and finance. On campus, I'm involved in a handful of organizations, social and business. For example, I'm in a fraternity where I've served on the executive board and had a handful of chairmanships, and then I also currently serve as the student government vice president.
Yeah, thank you for having us, Reagan. My name is Luke Tesmer. I am a junior here at Indiana State University, and I'm involved in multiple areas across campus. Namely, I currently serve as the Executive Director of Leadership for your Student Government Association. Past that, I currently serve as the Interfraternity Council's president, and within the Interfraternity Council, I serve my own fraternity in multiple executive positions.
You guys are very busy. Can you start by telling me exactly what SGA is for those who don't know and how you're going to help the student body?
Absolutely. So SGA, Student Government Association, its main role is to serve the student body, and it does that in a number of ways. For example, we do programmed events on campus, we do specific outreach to organizations, and we also pass legislation that is meant to benefit the student body. So where Luke and I are coming in, our ticket is interested in seeing SGA kind of evolve from where it's currently at, which is more of a programming organization. And we believe that we can expand our outreach, we can touch more students' lives, and improve more of the student experience by focusing more on the key issues that students are feeling. So that's where we'd like to take SGA.
Yeah, you talked about your ticket. I want to hear from both of you about why exactly you're running for SGA.
For me specifically, my why kind of comes back to a free speech aspect on campus. I feel that the First Amendment and freedom of assembly is really something that student government needs to have a focus on, because studies have shown over the last 5 years, universities across the country have had quite a downturn in compliance with the First Amendment. So for me, I want to be able to defend those rights that students have here on campus through an organization called FIRE. It's a national organization that comes in and they rank your campus. They rank your student code of conduct on a scale of 0 to 100 based upon how compliant you are with the First Amendment. They will offer suggestions on where you can improve, and it is an organization that works closely with the student government of a specific university, and that's something that I want to do. And my reason for doing that is when I came to campus here as a freshman 3 years ago now, which is almost unbelievable to think about. I didn't want anything to do with any sort of involvement on campus, whether it be student government, whether it be fraternity life, whether it be a small or a large organization. Involvement was not something that I wanted to do. My goal was to become a professional Madden player in my dorm room, which, shocker, didn't happen.
Yeah,
but,
how's that going for you?
Not well. So through those first couple weeks on campus, I kind of realized, hey, if I'm going to succeed in college, I've got to get involved.
Yeah.
And I got involved with one organization, and then two, and then three, and then it just kept going and going and going. And the experiences that I have had and the friendships that I've gained have really indebted me to this university, to this community, to an immeasurable amount, right? So bringing in an organization like FIRE and serving in a position such as the student body vice president is what I believe the first action in being able to somewhat repay an unrepayable debt that I owe to this university.
Of course.
Yeah, Luke and I have worked in a handful of roles together. We have, he's got his personal why. My reason goes back to when I ran for student government, my second semester on campus, but my first year. And ultimately what that came down to was I just do have a burning desire to be able to serve my peers. Everything that I try and do, everything that we plan to do, ultimately comes back to how can we best benefit the lives of students here on campus. And so that's my personal why. And together, Luke and I have created like a campaign mission statement, essentially, which is lead with purpose. It's our slogan, but it's also our mission statement, because we believe that our purpose as student government is to do the best that we possibly can with our track record and with the opportunities that we've been given to improve the student experience, which is what we'll do.
Yeah, and it's great that you kind of have that experience you're going through now to help guide you into what's next. Now let's shift gears a little bit. You guys do have some platforms. Which one is your personal favorite and why, if you want to share that with me?
Absolutely, yeah. So my personal favorite would be the student affordability platform. So if you go through and you look at all of our platforms, there's 3 total key platforms that we've got: student affordability, campus improvement, and then resource allocation. And what student affordability means is how can we take the student experience and make it more affordable for all Sycamores? Now there's a handful of reasons, or there's a handful of ways that we can go about actually affecting change in that area, but I want to touch on first the reason that it's actually important to me. So the past few months, we've been canvassing campus. We've been having the conversations that really matter with students. Been asking, what do you see as issues on campus, and what do you think we should do about that? How can we go about solving those problems for you? And the number one issue that we got over and over and over again was affordability. Books are really expensive for students. All of these extra costs on top of tuition, cost of living, they're hard to deal with. And so as a government, we've decided, we would like to affect change in that area, first of all, because it affects almost all of our Sycamores. And if it doesn't directly affect them, it affects someone that they know. So that's why student affordability is the top issue for me, and will affect change in that area in a handful of ways. By book buyback programs, we have opportunities to expand and produce areas of opportunity in the book buyback region all across campus, as well as advocating for open educational resources, which are things that we're here to get an education, so we should at least do our best to make the education more affordable for students.
Yeah, of course.
Outside of that would be scholarship opportunities. This past year, we've been able to add 10 new scholarships through Student Government Association, and on top of that, expand our previous scholarships, which is something that Luke and I are really looking forward to expanding on this year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I echo what Miles had said, but if I have to pick, for me personally, what would my favorite platform be, it would definitely be campus improvement for a couple of reasons. The first being it is such a broad platform, and that it was intentional. It's designed that way. There's a lot of areas on campus that we feel could be improved upon. The biggest one that we have got from the research that we have done is campus parking, right? Students are tired of having to pay for multiple parking tickets. Students are tired of having to park miles away just to
get that one.
Yeah, I mean, just to get to your dorm room, right?
Yeah.
And so Miles and I are looking forward to starting a discussion around parking with upper administration to how can we best figure out our parking situation, and that will come in the fashion of possible rezonings of parking districts on campus and ticket buyback programs, things like that.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, you're gaining so much with the term campus improvement. The Student Rec Center, for example. The hours can be questionable at times. We've heard that from student athletes. We've heard that from people who are just walking around in the rec, and we've heard that from commuters and on-campus students alike. Working out a program that is going to kind of adjust those hours, adjust how the Student Rec Center is currently operating is going to be something that we're going to be heavily focusing on. And of course, I've already mentioned it multiple times, but FIRE, the free speech organization, First Amendment organization. I see that as I kind of think of it as like my personal baby in the whole SGA kind of scope. Is to be able to advocate for our students. And that is really what campus improvement comes down to, is advocating for our students to see, hey, where do you feel our campus can improve? And then hearing that information and not just hearing it and being transparent about, oh, this is what we're thinking, but hearing it, being transparent about what we're thinking, and then actually having an action to back up what we've said.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great that you guys are listening to student voices and basing even some of your platforms off of that. Now, why do you guys think that you are a good fit for this role?
Yeah, absolutely. So, given our experience just this past year in student government, we've been able to connect with students in a way that hadn't really been, possible prior to. So, given that opportunity, as well as the opportunity to interact with faculty, what I've realized during my time as vice president is that there are certain things that student government can do. There are certain areas where we can affect change, and there are certain areas where we're going to need a little bit more of a runway. We're going to need a little bit more of a relationship with faculty, with upper administration, with staff, to say, hey, there are certain areas on campus that things need to change a little bit.
Yeah.
And what that's going to take is that relationship that we've built between ourselves and the university, so that we can more effectively advocate for change for students, right?
Yeah.
On top of that, it would be the work that we've already done within our platforms this past year, carrying on top of that momentum into next year, and just ensuring that what we're doing is effective for the students through the data-driven decisions that we've already decided to initiate.
Yeah, to echo what Miles was saying, I mean, experience is huge, and that is something that we have a lot of. But to be honest, experience means nothing without results. And Miles and I, time after time after time, in positions that we have been in, have produced results. An example of this would be in my position as the Director of Leadership for our Student Government Association. I have the absolute honor of running an organization called the Sycamore Leadership Coalition. Now, the SLC is a freshman-led organization that is a group of like-minded freshmen who've come together who are looking to build out their leadership skills, whether that be in the form of resume building, public speaking, or just anything under the sun that you can think of leadership-wise. It is my responsibility within the student government to not only run that organization, but to recruit for that organization. This past year, we have had the largest recruited class of the Sycamore Leadership Coalition in the university's history, over doubling last year's recruitment numbers. And not only have we recruited those people, but we have retained those people. They have seen the product that the SLC can turn out, and have seen, yes, this is something that is useful to us and something that they want to continue in. And so that is just one example, but you can look into any position that Miles and I have held here on campus, and you will look at our resume and you'll say, okay, yeah, they have a lot of experience, but when you dig deeper, you'll say, not only do they have experience, they have results to back up that experience.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about it that way. So if students want to contact either of you, how can they do that?
Absolutely. So we are tabling every single day in the Commons through the week from 12 to 2. We would love to see students come up, speak with us, learn a little bit more about our platforms, learn a little bit more about who we are. We're always passing things out, handing things out. Outside of that, if they want to come to us, connect with us online, it's Miles and Luke 26 on Instagram is our campaign platform, or our campaign Instagram. By our personal emails, you can just look our name up, or just getting in contact with us when we come visit you at your student organizations.
All right, perfect. Well, I am so educated on your platforms now and about what you guys are running for. I really appreciate you being here after hearing everything you're involved in. I'm sure you're busy. I don't even want to look at your calendars. That's all the time we have this week. If you would like to get involved with Sycamore Video, or if you have any events that you would like for us to cover, send us an email at isu-sycamorevideo@indstate.edu. Check us out on our Facebook page at Sycamore Video-ISU Student Media or Sycamore Video on YouTube. See you next week, Sycamores. Cool. That was good.
Awesome. Thank you.
They're going to have us sit here for a little bit just to make sure we have everything recorded and everything. But.
Perfect.
Works for me. I don't have anything till 5.